So, party people, how's everybody doing? I'm hoping everybody's having a beautiful day. Can you hear me? Today we got the mic on over ears, so I want to know if y'all can hear me well. This is really dope. If y'all can't hear me, because now I don't gotta yell. With that being said, verdict is in on the TAXSTONE trial. Uh, just so we can be clear, I know there's a lot of people that's gonna be surprised. There's gonna be other people who are not gonna be surprised. I'm gonna explain the actual verdict as best as well as I can. Most of y'all have probably already heard about the verdict. Give me 1 second. Sorry about that. Most of y'all have already most likely heard about the verdict. There are other. Yes, y'all can't hear me. Good. Boom. All right. Give me 1 minute. Give me 1 second. Sorry about that. Most of y'all have already most likely heard about the verdict. There are other. Yes, y'all can't hear me. Oh shit. Boom. All right. Give me 1 minute. Just give me 1 second. Most of y'all already heard about the verdict. It came in. Other people have already reported it. The actual DA has already sent out. Also, he tweeted out about it also, just so we can be clear. So most of y'all have already heard about the verdict. A couple of things I want to say before we get started. I want to say shout out to Reggie Jackson, Mr. 444. Got a mic over here. Also, shout out to New Elaine Entertainment. They came up from Jersey to show their support to TAXSTONE. TAXSTONE had a lot of people in court showing their support to him, just so we can be clear. New Lane Entertainment was some of the people that had came up. They came up all the way from Philly, from Philly to show their support. Salute New Lane Entertainment. So there's a couple of things that we want to get to real quick. First thing that I'm going to say, I'm going to read what the verdict. Well, I'm going to read what he actually got, what the verdict was right off the rip. I'm not going to hold y'all. And then I'm going to do some explain. The wrong book. I'm going to read the verdict right off the rip, and then we're going to do some explaining. And I want y'all to know, just so we can be clear, I'm going to be doing entire breakdowns for everyone that is interested. I'm going to be doing entire breakdowns. I'm going to be doing entire breakdowns. Just so we can be clear, we're going to be doing entire breakdowns. But before we go into that, I actually spoke to Tax's family, and they had a word or two. And Benga, pardon me, Benga's family, Trife, also had a word or two with me after court. Trife said, obviously he was, overcome. I'm going to have to speak with him later on the situation just so we can be clear. And TAXSTONE's family believes that there should have been a mistrial. We're going to explain that today just so we can be clear. I'm going to explain that also. TAXSTONE's family believes there should have been a mistrial because there was a thing that happened with a juror. Well, I'm going to explain why I don't believe there will be a mistrial, but I do think that they're going to go for an appeal. I do think that they're going to try to go for an appeal. I don't know if they should. I'm going to be clear on this. I don't know if they should go for an appeal. But I do believe that they are going to attempt to go for an appeal. I don't know if they should, though. Let me see what's a better. Make sure we get this at a nice. Okay, so I don't know if they should go for the appeal, but I do believe that they might think about it. With that being said, I'm going to read you the verdict off to you real quick. I'm going to read the verdict off to you real quick. We will talk about that juror today. And we actually spoke about this with an actual lawyer also. We was able to speak about it with a lawyer also. So I'm not just going to give you my perspective on this, but I'm also going to give you the perspective of an actual lawyer. Copy? I don't know who this Ram X guy is, but is your thing to come to the page and try to say everything before I say it to try to beat me to the punch? Because that's lame nigga shit, by the way. I mean, I'm not going to kick you for it, but that's kind of lame, homie. You're trying to make it so you're trying to interrupt my content. That's lame. Who raised you? With that being said, I'm going to read. Think I should just kick him? Who think I should just kick him? Ken Thompson says just kick him. I want to know what some of the rest of y'all think. Who think we should just kick him? With that being said, if he keeps doing that art, just kick him out or put him on a timeout or something, because that's just lame. You feel me? In any regard, count one. For everybody that don't know, hold on, let me just get the counts. I'm going to read them together so we can all know what we're talking about all at the same time. Count one was murder in the second degree. That basically was the count that said that he intended to cause the death and therefore also caused the death. Just so we can be clear, he was found not guilty. On count 1A of manslaughter in the second degree, that is the charge of serious injury that causes death. So there was an intent to cause serious injury, and the intent to cause serious injury causes death. TAXSTONE was found guilty. Count 2, which was attempted murder in the second degree, that's the intent to cause death when you engage in contact that is attempting to do a crime. So he got found not guilty for that. That was the charge that revolved around Troy Ave. Count 3, assault in the first degree with a deadly weapon. That's when you cause somebody serious injury, just so we can be clear. And that does not require the person, the intended target, to get hit, just so we can be clear. But that's assault in the first degree. And he got found guilty for assault in the first degree. There was a little misunderstanding there when they was reading off the counts or whatever, but the judge, shout out to the judge, he got everything cleared up. He got everything cleared up. Charge four, he was found guilty for charge 4. Charge 4 is assault in the first degree. That had to deal with Maggie Hextall. Maggie Hextall, he was found guilty for that. Charge 5, that was the assault that was on Chris Vinson, I believe. Count 5, that had to deal with Chris Vinson, I believe, just so we could be clear. That was the Chris Vinson. That's the dude that had his intestines removed, just so we could be clear. Count 5, that was assault in the first degree. He was found not guilty, but he was found guilty of assault in the second degree, just so we can be clear. And for the other two charges, count 6 and count 7, that had to deal with the weapon, he was found guilty of all of those charges. They actually deem that they're going to be giving him, they're going to do the sentencing April 19th at 2:15, just so everybody can know. April 19th, 2:15. So I want to say something real clear, and I want to go over this jury thing real quick for everybody, and then we're going to come back to the charges. First thing I want to say is we got 178 people here. I want to send out some notifications. So can we hit that like button, please? We got to be able to get to 50 likes, man. All right, so let's elephant in the room this bitch. So I want to be clear about something. All right, I want to be clear about something. Also, time served will only count if it's running at the same time. If it's not running at the same time, then time served is not going to apply, right? Can we please hit that like button? We got 207 people in here, man. We can get to 75 likes, I think, right? So I want to be clear about something. I'm just going to explain to y'all the jury situation. I really didn't go over it that much this morning during our live because the case was still going on for one, and I was going to do it tonight, just so we could be clear. So basically what happened was uh, we come into court, and when we come into court, they already put out that the previous day, they put out that during court today, they wanted to the judge to go over the stipulations for the stipulations, right? For the charges revolving around, how do you say, intent. They wanted to know what was the legal terms for intent. Basically, they wanted to understand what intent meant in the legal terms so they could be able to, you know, do their jobs the appropriate way. So just to give you a little bit more backstory, this is the second time that they asked about this. The first time they asked about it, they didn't word their question appropriately. The second time they asked about it, they worded their question better. So what ended up happening was, after the judge had informed them what intent meant again, they went back into the jury room. And as they was walking back into the jury room, one of the jurors, juror 6, heard juror 11 tell juror 12 that last night he went out with some of his friends. And while he was out with some of his friends, one of his friends is a retired lawyer. And while they were out eating dinner or whatever they was doing, he asked them what was the legal term for intent. That's all that he said. At least that's all that they're saying he said. He didn't say anything more than that. He just told the guy that he asked a lawyer what was the legal term for intent. What ends up happening is juror 6 hears this. Juror 6 wants to tell the judge. The juror 6, like, we got to take this to the court because we're not supposed to talk about this case with nobody. Before we go any further, obviously juror 11 was wrong. R.I.P. Banger. That's a fact. R.I.P. Banger. Before we go any, just so we can be clear, obviously juror 11 was wrong. Right? Juror 11 was wrong. Hold on. I'm going to give you the whole thing. So basically, they sit in the room. Juror 6 writes a letter to the judge. The foreman signs it. It comes out to the judge. Boom. The judge gets it. Well, no, we get the letter in the courtroom. And basically, the judge now has to question, obviously, with the attorneys there. And the attorneys get the opportunity to question all the jurors. That's what they decide. So they bring out all the jurors one by one. Now, I want to be clear on this because I'm skipping over a lot of stuff because it's not nothing that needs to be told here. I'll tell y'all later what the individual jurors were saying. But basically what had happened was he never actually intimated to them. He never actually said to them what was actually said. He never told the juror 12 what the actual lawyer said. All he said to him is that he had went out with a lawyer the night before, and this time when the judge spoke, him and what the lawyer said is the same thing. So basically, when he went out with the lawyer friend now says, yes, it's the same thing that the other dude told me. So he was busy telling the juror that this time when the judge had gave his instructions about what intent was, it's the same thing that his lawyer friend had told him the night before. Juror 6 hears this. Juror 6 tells the judge. Now everything has to happen. Now I'm going to skip over a ton of stuff because a lot of this stuff is just back and forth, and you get the gist of it. They interview all the jurors. After they interview all the jurors, what ends up happening is the judge deems that nothing actually happened that would complicate or would make any of the jurors, no, he also asked them flat out, by the way, would have them act in any way, shape, or form outside of what they was already going to do. Now, I want to be clear about this before we go any further. A mistrial means that there's a whole trial all over again. So for the people that think that a whole trial all over again is going to only benefit TAXSTONE, it might actually not benefit TAXSTONE. A whole trial all over again is an opportunity for the prosecution to even get whatever they're trying to do more correct. Because now they know they could, if they was paying attention to the jury, they know what they did, the things that they did that worked, and the things that they did that didn't work. So for everybody that's like, oh man, we need a mistrial, I want a mixed trial, we need a mistrial. What you have to understand is, just like that gives the defense another opportunity to get it right, that also gives the prosecution another opportunity to get it right. I want to be clear on this. I think that this is the aspect that people might not be paying attention to. So with that being said, listen and pay attention. They were all questioned. What actually sounds like happened is, you know, when everybody's yelling at each other and you don't know what anybody is saying? So that's basically what happened. Once it came out that this dude went and did something that he wasn't supposed to do, they never even got for him to tell the things to everybody what was going on. Just so we can be clear. Pay attention. Hang with me. I'm speaking slowly on purpose, by the way. So stay with me. So the judge deems that they're going to allow for the jury, who already has the case, to continue with the case. Now, this is the most important aspect of this. Two things. One, Esquire was not in court today. Bayonne was in court. Gilbert Bayonne. He was in court today, not Esquire. So Gilbert Bayonne was in court. And the judge asked, before he sent the jurors back, because he told the jurors that they cannot, deliberate. Before he sent the jurors the okay that they could continue to deliberate, he asked both sides, do they have any type of petition for the court, basically? Is everything okay? Is there an issue? Is there a problem? Now, there's another thing that I want to tell you. Throughout this whole entire time that all of this is going on, and I'm not trying to shoot at this guy, I'm just trying to explain to you what was happening. Through this whole entire time while all of this was happening, Gilbert Bayonne had to keep getting up out of his seat to go outside to call Esquire. You heard me right. Esquire wasn't there. And the attorney that was there, and I'm not trying to get on him, I'm just telling you what happened. The attorney that was there, every time a decision needed to be made, had to get up, ask the judge, could he have a moment, walk out of the courtroom, and call Esquire. Let me know how y'all feel about that in the chat. Also, we got 305 people in here, man. Come on, hit that like button. Let's get up to 100. Let me know how y'all feel about that in the chat. If you was TAXSTONE and your lead attorney, for whatever the reason, wasn't there, and the guy that he has being there, because, you know, you don't really expect any attorneying to be done at this point, just so we can be clear. You just need somebody to be sitting there. You just need somebody to be sitting there with the defendant. There's no attorneying being done. At least it's not expected. Just so we can be clear. So listen, pay attention. I'm about to tell you why an appeal is actually not gonna work. I'm explaining to you why I do not believe that an appeal will work. I'm not saying that it won't. Try it, see what happens. But I'm explaining to you why I do not believe that an appeal is going to work. Listen. Now, when they asked both the defense team and the prosecution, did they have anything else before the jury went back to deliberate again, both sides said no. Now, I'm going to tell you, I don't usually say what my opinion is, but I'm going to tell you what my opinion was when I heard the defense say no. I personally didn't understand why the defense didn't immediately ask for that person to be removed. Immediately. I think that I told y'all this in the live earlier. So now, the live earlier happened before the verdict, as we all know. When we come back from lunch and they're giving the verdict, we come back from lunch and they're talking. I think this is before the verdict. They're talking. At that time, Bayonne asked to have that juror removed, along with juror 11 and along with juror 5. I'm going to tell you what the judge said. Bayonne asked to disqualify juror 5, 11, and 12. 11 told 12 the thing, and 5 didn't think that they should have brought it to the judge. The judge said it's denied because it was untimely. Not because it was wrong to want to remove these guys, but because it was untimely. Do you get it? If Bayonne would have off the rip say that he wanted those guys removed, there's a good chance that they would have been removed. I'm not saying that they would have been removed. I'm saying that there's a good chance. But since Bayonne needed to talk to Esquire before he could decide on what to do, now I'm going to explain to you why when Bayonne asked, and I asked the lawyer about this, by the way. I spoke with a lawyer about this, by the way. I'm going to explain to you why when Bayonne asked after we came back, could those 3 guys be removed? And he was told no. I'm going to explain why. Because they were allowed to go back and deliberate with the other attorneys after the with the other jurors after the incident. So now, if you decide that you want to remove them, you have to remove all the jurors. And it is a mistrial. You get it? Hold on, give me 1 second. So when Bayonne didn't speak up before those jurors went back and started deliberating again amongst themselves, he created a situation where now the judge can't remove those jurors. Because now if he removes them, he creates an opportunity for an appeal. And I want to say something specifically for all of the people that think that they should take an appeal. He beat murder one. You're gonna appeal? I'm gonna say this again. He beat murder, not murder one. He beat both of the main charges. He beat both of the biggest charges that would have given the most time. Those got beat. You gonna appeal? I don't understand you dudes. I'm assuming the people that's saying he should do an appeal were pro-tax, right? The people that's saying they should do an appeal is pro-tax, right? He beat the two biggest charges, and you want to appeal? He beat murder two, and he got caught with manslaughter two. How am I first before I kick you? Tell me how am I signing bias? Also, Miss Wilson doesn't even know how he doesn't even know which is the worst charges. Let me see what he got convicted of. Hold on. Let me just make sure. There was no manslaughter one on the table. So, sure, you're saying he got convicted of manslaughter one, but there was no manslaughter one on the table. So, okay. These people are just saying weirdo shit in the chat. This is why I just kick people. They're just trying to make it sound like I'm saying something wrong. Thank you for having intelligent people in here that y'all see that these dudes is weirdos. I appreciate it. R.I.P. Banger, that's a fact. This is not a case that there was going to be any winners. Shout out to Block. Salute. Yeah, this is not a case where there was going to be any. I don't care what Pitchfork reported. Shout out to Pitchfork. Don't tell me what Pitchfork reported. If you keep telling me what Pitchfork reported, I don't want to. You're just trying to aggravate me. He beat the two main charges. The two main charges was murder one and attempted murder. Was murder in the second degree and attempted murder in the second degree. He beat both of those charges. If you are pro-tax and you're busy saying we got an appeal, I don't think you pro-tax. I don't think you pro-tax. Who in the hell beat murder 2 and attempted murder in the second degree? Beat both of them and then appeal. Also, we got 390 people here, man. Can we hit that like button? All right, so dude, he beat murder in the second degree and attempted murder in the second degree. Didn't I tell y'all that Esquire was giving them the business? You thought I was joking? I'm just kicking you. You just want to create weird conversation. So I'm just kicking you because you just trying to get people arguing, and I'm fine with people being on whatever side they on. You should be on whatever side you on, but you're trying to create arguments and dissension and trying to have like some effed up shit going on here. Like one guy didn't pass away and another guy's in jail. Nah, I kicked him. That's a fact. I kicked him. We ain't doing all that widow shit. R.I.P. Banger. That's a fact. So, and also I want to be clear about this. The judge was consistent with every single time he told them. Every single time the judge informed them of the elements, he was clear. So the fact that they were confused about the elements has to deal with people that was over there that didn't even want to understand or didn't want to accept it. He was clear every time. The judge in no way was not clear one time and was clear the other time. He was clear every time. The judge was clear every time. The judge father. He was clear every time. In no time was he not clear. To be perfectly honest with you, the dude that asked the guy might be one of the people who was not for murder 1. So I'm gonna be clear on this. The dude that asked the lawyer about intent might be one of the guys that was against murder 1. Just so we could be clear. Just so we could be clear. Yeah. I think sometimes people like you, yeah, like that's why I don't understand people sometimes, to be honest with you. Shout out to Wavy D with the $5 drop. Definitely appreciate you, my brother. He says, keep doing your stuff, my guy. I'm gonna keep doing all of the things, Wavy. Um, I told y'all that Esquire was giving these dudes the business, didn't I? I said, yo, Esquire giving these guys the business. Didn't I tell you? I keep trying to tell you, I know court. Y'all people, not y'all people, let me not say it like that. But there's a lot of people on the internet that they can go and look at a thing, but that don't mean they know what they looking at. It don't mean they know what they looking at. I'm going to tell you how real it is. Before the verdict came back, I was actually talking with someone. And I told them, I said, people shouldn't, think it's over for the most part. And I was having a debate with them on this, and they brought up some very good points. By the way, they brought up great points. And I told them that I do not think that TAXSTONE is going to be found guilty, and I know I do not give opinion, but I told them, and I told them for a reason. I told him I don't think TAXSTONE is going to be found guilty on the two biggest charges. I think he's going to be found guilty of other things. So they was busy there debating me about how TAXSTONE, how they can't not find them guilty on this. They can't. And I said, look, everything you're saying, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. But there's this thing called the human element. There's this thing called the human element. Sentencing is going to be, I believe, April 19th at 2:15. This easily could have been he could have easily been found guilty of murder too, and he could have easily been found guilty of attempted murder in the second degree. Easily. I think Esquire did an exceptional job. An exceptional job. I'm actually going to be doing I'm going to be doing a lot of breakdown videos on this. Look for them to be coming up. They're going to be short form videos also. And I'm going to be explaining what I saw in the courtroom. I'm going to be explaining to you the parts of my notes that y'all didn't get a chance to see. I'm going to be explaining to you what I saw in the courtroom. Because yeah, kick Tom all the way out. They don't want him here. Kick him all the way out. Kick him all the way out. They don't want him here. He's messing up our flow. Kick him all the way out. I am gonna try to contact Esquire and get an interview. He did an incredible job. Just so we could be clear, I think the prosecution and I don't think I ever have an opportunity to interview the prosecution. But I think Keenan did a great job, and I think Esquire did a great job. I think if Keenan wasn't doing as good as a job as Keenan does, I think that he probably gets off. He probably skates all the way out the door. I think he skates all the way out the door. All the way out the door. If I can get a hold of a juror, I'll interview them, but I'm not gonna approach a juror for an interview. The judge asked us not to do that, so I'm not gonna do that. I'm always when I do a case like this, I go by whatever the judge is talking about. The judge is the boss. Maybe we should hit star up tonight. I think I'm gonna hit star up tomorrow night. I think I should get my notes and everything together. I think I should get so I could go there and I could be prepared. I couldn't see tax. There was too many officers in the court, making sure nobody could get to him or he can't. You got to protect the guy. Imagine if they would have said he's innocent of everything and then somebody tried to jump on him. Manslaughter in the second. Manslaughter in the second. He was found guilty of manslaughter in the second degree. It was murder in the second degree. How is it going to be manslaughter in the first degree? I don't even think that's a thing that they could do. I don't think they played his case. They didn't play Trife's stuff in court, as far as I know. count 1A, I believe, was manslaughter in the second degree. I wrote it down more than once. Let's see if I wrote it down incorrectly. Then I manslaughter in the second degree. But I'm not going to keep going back and forth with you on that. So I'm not going to keep going back and forth. I thought it was manslaughter in the second degree, as far as I can tell. I wrote down manslaughter in the second degree multiple different times. Could I be wrong? Okay. Let's say I could be wrong. But as far as I know, it's supposed to be manslaughter in the second degree. Hold on. I'm going to even check my other book and see if there's anywhere at all that I said manslaughter in the first degree. It was amended, right? Just so we could be clear, they amended it. It wouldn't be in the other book. It would be this one. As far as I know, it's manslaughter in the second degree. Manslaughter in the second degree. I wrote it down one time there. Let's see. And this is just so we could be clear. This is from the other day. The judge talked about them again today. Once again, manslaughter in the second degree. So I don't know where y'all hearing manslaughter in the first degree from. Did y'all hear? I don't know where y'all hearing that from. I don't know where you're hearing that from. And whoever's telling you that, I don't know where they heard it from. The charges that were added. Hold on, I'm looking. Assault in the second, reckless. Huh? You know what? Might be manslaughter in the first degree. The first time I wrote it, it was manslaughter in the first degree. I might be right on this. Hold on. I can be corrected. I'm going to look up the actual jump off. It might be manslaughter in the second degree, in the first degree. Hold on. Okay, so that's the statute for assault in the second degree. I did at one point write down manslaughter in the first degree, so maybe. Hold on. But if that's what it is, that's not my fault. They've been saying it wrong in court. Okay, so it is manslaughter in the first degree, but that's not my fault. I promise you that's not my fault. They've been saying that in court all day. They said it in court today more than once. I promise you. So they fucked up in court. They've been saying manslaughter in the second degree this whole time. I promise you that's what they've been saying. No, it's in the first degree. They've been saying manslaughter in the first degree, in the second degree in court for quite a few days now. Every single person. I don't think they're gonna give them the max though. Okay, so here is, yeah, manslaughter in the first. It's definitely manslaughter in the first. As you can see, I wrote it down on day 11, manslaughter in the first. They've been just saying it wrong in court the last couple of days. I promise you they've been saying it wrong in court the last couple of days. I promise you, they've been saying it wrong in court the last couple of days. Give me 1 second. As you can see, my notes say manslaughter, and there's a 1 right there. Manslaughter in the first degree. And attempted manslaughter in the second degree. I don't know. I don't know what his charges is going to be. Somebody being killed plays a big part in the sentencing. I'm going to say something real quick. I'll break this down a lot later. At a different time, I'll break this down even more. Shout out to Elvis with the $5 drop. Definitely appreciate you, my brother. I'll break this down a lot more later. I just called to Elvis. Shout out to Elvis with the $5 drop. I'm going to break this down a lot later, but I'm going to explain something to you. Troy Ave was really, really unlikable on the stand. He was not likable. I'm going to say this again. I don't have no thing against Troy Ave. I actually enjoy his personality some of the times. Most of the times. Every time I've met him, I've enjoyed his personality. But he was extremely unlikable on the stand. And I believe one of the things that did was, you can believe why somebody would have a reasonable reason to maybe want to hurt this guy. So now when you look at the situation in a vacuum, he looks like somebody, and he said himself that he threw the first punch. So if he threw the first punch, which he said he did, he threw the first punch, Troy Ave, he said he did, then how are you gonna say murder too? How can you convict anybody of murder too if they was minding their business and somebody else threw a punch at them first? How could you get them for murder too? And told his bodyguard to hit the guy also. You understand? So the human element comes into play. And the human element says, the human element comes into play. And the human element says, just so we can be clear, because people are human, right? The human element comes into play and say, well, that man was there enjoying his night and he was attacked. And while somebody did lose their life and he needs to be held accountable for that, we can't say that he went there with the intent to do anything. We can't say that when he saw them, he had an intent to do anything. Because you don't know. Because they attacked him. So I didn't think he was going to get caught for murder one. Shout out to the Star Report. Is Star live? We'll go pull up on Star right now. Is Star live? Shout out to the Star Report. He says, with the $50 drop, he says, good job reporting. Shout out to the Star Report. Is Star live? Is Star live right now? Somebody go check and see if Star's live. Maybe we go pull up on our brother. Don't tell him I go to my brother. Don't tell him I called him that. But we go pull up on our brother, man. Don't tell him I said that, though. He don't like that. Oh, you not live yet? We're going to go pull up on it tonight. You're going to be live tomorrow at 11 a.m.? I'm there. I'm pulling up. I'm pulling up. I'm going to be live over here, too, at the same time, though. But I'm pulling up. Yeah, salute. You already know what it is. I heard you're going to be moving. I'm going to be quiet. But if you ever have business in New York, and there's Boss Hog over there. That's a fact. So look, so I want to be clear about something. And I'm gonna break this down when I do. I'm gonna break this down. I'm in the courtroom. I'm paying attention to the judge. I'm paying attention to the jury. I'm paying attention to the prosecutor. I'm paying attention to the defense team. I'm in the court. Copy. I'm paying attention to everything. So I'm gonna be doing breakdowns on everything. I'm all of my notes. We're gonna be doing all the way full breakdowns. I'm gonna need a couple of days because I got to get everything together. But we're gonna be doing full breakdowns, all of my notes. Also, I'm gonna be attempting to get some interviews with concerning parties. If we ever get blessed with a TAXSTONE interview, that would be incredible. But I will try to get interviews with parties involved in this and family and whoever I can actually speak with. We're gonna do the thing that we was gonna do with the Tekashi thing, but we never got around to it because niggas was acting weird. Shout out to I'm gonna call him Johnson with the dub drop. Definitely appreciate you. He says entertaining reporting. I try to do report and not be boring. Like I try not to be boring. Appreciate you, Bernard Johnson. Salute. No, I mean they get a chance to add those other charges, but also understand this, and I need for y'all to understand this. Um, let's say those other charges weren't added, and the only charges they had were the main strong charges. They might have found him guilty of one of those charges just because somebody passed away, and they don't want no one to be held responsible. You understand? They somebody passed away. They don't want no one to be held responsible. There's a grieving family, homie. Like, let's keep things like that in mind when we talk. Like, there's a grieving family involved. So keep that in mind when we talk. Use my voice at the end. Okay, I'm gonna call that motherfucker up. What was I saying? What part did he what I'll listen to it later, but what song and what did I say? Clip it and DM it to me. When I said tax was done, shout out to Av. Shout out to Av putting me in something. I'm you don't motherfucker. All right. People got to stop with the tax letter. Laugh out loud. Y'all looking like bozos with Troy. That ain't snitching. Laugh out loud. Tax didn't say Troy did anything. All the letter said was people actually were already. I'm gonna disagree with you. That letter did say a lot, but as you can see, I don't talk about the letter. On Dear Hater, I Won. I like that song. I'm not gonna lie. I like that song. Oh, word. Shout out to those guys. How they doing? They saw me in court. How they doing? I was leaving court and some of the cops was asking me, "Yo, what case you covering next?" I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to talk about myself. But yeah, I was leaving court and the cops was asking me, "Yo, shout out to the shout out to all of the police that was in there. Y'all guys was absolutely incredible. Um, I appreciate y'all guys. Y'all were all incredible. Y'all treated me with so much respect, and y'all treated me very well. And I, you know, God, obviously, I'm going to be covering other cases, and so when I do have a case, I can't wait to cover it in your building. Those guys just treated me incredible. I appreciate you guys. What do you consider fair in the sentencing? What do you consider fair? You know, what you consider fair, somebody else is gonna not consider fair. We got 173 likes in here with 348 people. Could we 398 people? Could we get those likes up to like 190, right? It's only like 17 more likes. We can get up to 190, right? My dude, yeah, like I'm really like I get it. People that don't haven't met me in person, they don't know how to take me. I get that. But when people meet me in person, they generally like me. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. I really don't. I don't know what to tell you. People that meet me generally like me. Shout out to Harrison in Harrison with the $5 drop support for the channel. Appreciate you. And just so you look, first of all, I appreciate all support that comes to the page. And when y'all guys just throw a couple of bucks here, a couple of bucks there because you're just supporting the page, like that's dope. You understand what I'm saying? Like that's dope. I'm out here. I'm really working hard. I'm really trying to get the content and everything together. Uh, and so I definitely appreciate y'all. He said I made the new Troy Ave song. Shout out to that shit. I don't know what to tell you. Um, I told you I fuck with Av. I'm gonna. I told you I fuck with Av, right? Uh, Also, y'all should probably thank Troy Ave because he's the one that asked me to cover this story. Troy Ave came to Takashi trial, the Treyway trial, and actually asked me to cover it, just so we could be clear. Yeah, Troy Ave pulled up on me personally. It's really that simple. I'm an easy guy, an easygoing guy. BBN, we made it to Troy Ave's jump. What the fuck? Fam still got in the door? Yeah, I've met Troy Ave a couple of times. He's been in the chat. Troy Ave's been in the chat. Anything y'all want to ask me about? Come on, let's go. Y'all like when we do this, right? When we just talk back and forth. Y'all like this. There's people that want me to stop doing this, but this is what we do over here. Y'all like this. Y'all like just talking and shit and chopping it up with me, right? I like the song, and I'm not gonna lie to you. Um, it's a good song. I like the I've only heard the chorus, just so we could be clear. But so I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. He put me on it, so shout out to that shit. Um, his mother, just so we could be clear, his mother, I think that was Tax's mom's. She's always in court. Very lovely lady, by the way. I'm scared the shit of her, just so we can be clear. Um, Absolutely scared of her. I don't want no problems, ma. No problems. I'm scared the shit of her. So she's been in court every day, and I spoke with her after, and she said that she thought that there should have been a mistrial. But once again, he was found not guilty of the the biggest charges. So I don't know if after the fact the mistrial is what you really want. You understand? Um, but I'm gonna go back to what I was saying. Uh, Troy Ave was really, really unlikable on the stand. I get him, so to me, he wasn't unlikable, right? But me paying attention to how he was conducting himself and me seeing the jury, he wasn't very likable. He just wasn't very likable. He was entertaining, but he wasn't very likable. So, and Esquire was able to bring that aspect out. Like he literally dissed Esquire's suit. He made himself sound like an elitist. So how do you think the people on the jury feel that can't afford to buy the type of suits that they saw Troy having? Like they can't afford to buy the type of clothes Troy had on. And then Troy Ave is in the court calling one of the lawyers a bum. We don't know what kind of background these people come from. We don't know what struggles they might be going through in their own life. That's why I said, now if you would have had a young jury, they would have thought that that was funny. But there was an older jury in there, you know, probably the youngest person on the jury was like early 40s, late 30s. So they didn't take those antics the way some 25-year-old kid would have took it. Well, the point that I'm making is, just so we could be clear, is if they would have believed him outright. Hold on, Bernard Johnson. I'm not coming for you, just so we could be clear. But if they would have believed him outright, then he would have got attempted murder. TAXSTONE would have been found guilty for attempted murder if they would have believed him outright. Troy Ave said he turned around and shot straight at him. Right? Shout out to Ian with the $5 drop. He said, just to be clear. So, very sad. Rest in peace, Banger. But if they would have believed Troy Ave outright, right, then they would have found him guilty for attempted murder. They did not find him guilty for attempted murder. Troy Ave was on the stand, said he was running away, turned around and shot straight at him. Like, you could tell me I'm wrong, but the verdict says that I'm not. You have people up there that is grandfathers and grandmothers. And Troy Ave looked like a petulant, I'm not going to say go that far, but he looked like somebody that might have needed a butt whooping in their eyes, not in my eyes. In my eyes, I get him. Yes, he was convicted of assault. Just so we can be clear, I read the charges he was convicted of again for everybody. He was convicted of count 1, it was not guilty. Count 1A, he was guilty. Hold on, let me find the charges so I can read it more to you. So count 1, he was not guilty. Count 1 was murder in the second degree. That's causing someone's death, and you intended to cause the death. You intended, meaning that when he fired the gun, the thing he was trying to do was to kill someone. That's what that means. He was found not guilty for murder in the second degree. The charge under that also applied to Benga was murder in the first degree. It was manslaughter in the first degree. Shout out to Al. Shout out to Al with the $5 with the $2 drop. He says, "Dear hater, I won." No, I don't know what that's about. That's the song. So this should say manslaughter in the first degree. Give me my pens is over there. I remember. So he got found not guilty. So we could be clear, he was found not guilty of murder in the second degree. That means that he intended to cause the death of Benga. They didn't agree with that, the jury. So they found him guilty of manslaughter in the first degree, which just means that he attempted to cause somebody serious physical injury, and that serious physical injury in turn caused the person's death. That's what that means. He got found not guilty of attempted murder in the second degree. That's basically saying that he intended to kill Troy Ave, but instead of killing him, he just wounded him bad and injured him. And the point that I'm trying to make, just so we could be clear, is if they believed Troy Ave, then he would have been found guilty of attempted murder in the second degree, because Troy Ave said he turned around and fired straight at him. Like, once again, I'm not trying to belittle anybody or disrespect anyone or anything like that. So I don't want nobody to think that. Yeah, stars that dude. So I don't want nobody to think. So I'm just explaining, right? This has nothing to do with my opinion, by the way. If they believed Troy Ave outright, then they would have found TAXSTONE guilty for attempted murder in the second degree. Why? because Troy Ave said on the stand, TAXSTONE was leaving the room. He was blocked because everybody was running out of the room. And while he was like, couldn't get out the room, so he turned around and fired at Troy Ave again. Do y'all remember what I said to y'all the other day? When I said he probably wasn't even trying to kill him. He was just probably firing the gun to fire the gun. And then people laugh at me when I said that. There's people in here laughing at me, wasn't they? Who remembers those people was laughing at me? Who remembers me saying that like yesterday? And there was people in here talking about I was crazy and they was laughing at me. Who remembers that? How many times do I got to hit the nail on the head? We got 199 likes, man. Let's get a couple more so we can get over 200. Do y'all remember me saying that? We got one person that remembers it, Air 10. Anybody else remembers me saying that? How is he just turning around and firing the gun? People don't do that. One guy made a big deal about it. Like, nobody does that. Only till you fire a gun, you firing to kill. Remember, y'all people were saying that? I keep trying to tell y'all, I'm not saying any of this stuff because of the way I feel. I'm telling you this stuff having no bias at all. Zero bias. That's why these dudes is never going to be able to report like me. They're never going to be able to report like me. Never. So what did the jury convict them of? They didn't convict them of attempted murder. Why? Because the jury don't believe when he fired the gun, he was attempting to murder him. When are y'all gonna understand that the people that say that I don't know what I'm talking about don't know what they talking about? What up, Russell? It's disgusting how Av moving out here. He started a fight and his man's got killed, but he's trying to walk around like a superhero. Okay, so you ever heard of a thing called the bottleneck effect? First, I'm going to tell y'all why I'm saying this. Shocked by TJ says, that doesn't make sense. The N-word with the gun was running towards the door and everybody is running out the room and the room is blocked and is blocking him. You don't think that makes sense? So you ever heard of the bottleneck effect? I'll give you I'll actually look up the definition so we don't got to argue over the definition. You ever heard of the bottleneck effect? And as you can see, it's a real thing. I didn't even put it all the way in, and Google pulled it up for me. A popular bottleneck effect or general bottleneck is a sharp reduction in the size of a population due to the environmental events such as famines, earthquakes, floods, human activities such as pesticide. Hold on. They just coming up with they're giving me all the other damn definitions. Give me the just, okay, I'm gonna write definitions so I can get all the definitions all at once, right? And I wrote definition and it didn't give me all the damn definitions. Okay, so basically they bottlenecked. So what that means is the door's only but so big. 20 people can't go through the door all at the same time. Only one can. So if you got 30 people running towards a door that only one, maybe two people could get through at the same time, what happens is when everybody gets to that door, there's a bottleneck. You got people pushing and shoving to try to get through the door. That makes it so that people that might not be at the door have to wait for the people at the door to go through the door. So what happened was TAXSTONE was in back of the people that was going through the door. So he has to wait for those people to go through the door so he could go through the door. So that's what I believe Troy Ave explained. Everybody was trying to rush out of the room all at the same time. TAXSTONE was not one of the first people trying to get out of the room because he was busy fighting with them dudes. So what happened, them dudes being Benga and Troy Ave. So what happened was when he finally was able to get up and then try to get through the door, there were already people at the door and he had to wait for them to go through the door so he could then go through the door. That's what Troy Ave explained with basic words. Okay, so you just saying whatever you're saying. So if anybody else understands what I'm saying, then okay. He's not going to understand what I'm saying no matter what, so I'm not going to try again. Give me 1 second. Yeah, I'm not going to try again. He's not going to understand no matter what I say, right? It's not going to matter. I think that I did a good job explaining right there. A pretty decent job. I think I did a pretty decent job explaining right there. He's not gonna understand what I'm saying no matter what I say. So I'm not gonna waste my time. I'm not gonna waste my time. Our Reaper Keeper said the DA's office went back years and counted how many times TAXSTONE's tweeted about Troy Ave. It literally seemed as though TAXSTONE was obsessed with Troy Ave. He spoke on him 400. He spoke on him 700 plus times. Antonio Brown says, away with these is facts keeper. Antonio Brown says, Troy Ave just rubs people the wrong way. It's not shocking that you said the jury doubted. I don't think the jury doubted him. I think the jury just didn't like him and thought that this is a guy that somebody might have a problem with. Or basically, whatever problem him and TAXSTONE had, it wasn't only because of TAXSTONE's actions. He also had a hand in the problem. You understand? Does that make sense? He also had a hand in the problem. That's what I think. That's how I think the jury felt. What up, Tiandre? That's how I feel the jury felt. I keep hearing that. Salute the Av. I know people are going to get mad at me for saying that, but I'm not on no side of nothing. I am the news. When y'all come interview with me, you don't have to worry about me trying to set you up. When y'all come interview with me, you don't have to worry about me having a problem with somebody, so I'm trying to do you dirty. I'm the news. We don't have any real urban news. We don't have none. These niggas is chatty patties for the most part of it. They gossips. I'm not gossip. We real news over here. That's what I'm saying, Arthur D. Glass. Hold them both accountable. Shabbat TJ, I understand what you're saying. I'm saying I don't believe in the real world that happens. You don't believe in the real world that 18 people can't get through a regular narrow doorway all at the same time? You don't think that happens? You think in the real world, if 30 people is trying to go through a regular doorway, they'll make it like that all at the same time? Think that happens in the real world? That I can't talk to you because I'm going to be making jokes and people are going to think I'm making fun of you. You see what I'm saying? I'm not answering no more of your comments. I'm not answering. I'm not responding because I'm not making fun of you, homie. But there's no way I'm gonna be able to respond back to you without saying shit that's gonna make me laugh, and then people gonna think I'm making jokes about you. Sheesh, man. That's all I'm saying. No way I'm gonna be able to. No way I'm gonna be able to talk about this shit without. Sheesh. And salute to all of y'all that like my format. Because people always trying to tell me to stop doing this type of format. Not that they might not be right. You know, I'm not saying that they're right. They're wrong. I'm just saying. We on Star. Tomorrow we're on Star. Star goes live at 11. We on Star tomorrow. I'm not responding back to that guy no more, man. I don't. It's too hard not to say shit that's gonna make me laugh when I'm responding back to what you're saying. All right, hold on, kitten. I'm gonna read it right now. I'm gonna scroll up some. I'm gonna read some of y'all comments. Damn, I can't see it. When did okay? Funny thing is, I said if the jury was older, they wouldn't go home and gossip. That this older jury did the same damn thing. But I'm gonna okay. So just so we could be clear, the dude that did it, I'm not surprised he did it. I'm just saying. There's other people. I'm 100% sure that they took this with the utmost, and they didn't say nothing to nobody. But also, so I can be clear on this, I believe that he's one of the jurors. That's the reason why the top charge didn't go through. I think he was one of the main people arguing that there was no intent. You understand? I think that juror was one of the main jurors why this top charge did not go against TAXSTONE. I think he's one of those jurors. And just so we could be, God, I'm gonna be quiet because I'm not gonna give you my full breakdown. Roadrunner says people mad at Troy because he exposed who was the real rat was. New York urban legend saying this wasn't Troy case, bro. Michael Sierra. That's a good name, homie. I don't know if that's your real name, but if it's not, he says, "What charge did he blow to?" The manslaughter one. He got caught up. He got caught up on that one. That's the big main charge that he got caught up on. Ali Wishes says it happens. Roadrunner says, "Cause the totality of the situation is Troy had a hater one that used all of his resources to hate on that man." I do think the fact that TAXSTONE tweeted and mentioned him so much worked against him in the eyes of the jury. Absolutely. Absolutely. You're talking about older people who's definitely not on the stalking or anything that even looks like stalking type of time. You understand? So I'm not saying Tax was stalking him. He was, but anything that looks like that, these are older people. They're not on that type of time. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah, I agree with you on that. If you're saying what I think you're saying. What up, Deborah Mitchell? She says, I missed the beginning. What were the charges guilty of? He was guilty. I'll read the charges again because I know a couple of y'all wasn't in here. Shout out to Deborah Mitchell. That's a fake Deborah Mitchell. I'm not reading the charges because you're stealing somebody else's name. King Digger, salute. Mr. Davis says guilty of manslaughter and assault charges. He beat the murder and attempted murder. Yeah, and I think one of the reasons why he beat the murder and attempted murder was it had to deal with intent. And I believe that that guy is one of the people that believed that there was not any intent. That was the main thing that they were arguing over, I believe. Corey Wilkinson, can you explain again how the manslaughter charge was added later? I thought I remember you saying the prosecutor added it or introduced it later. So after all of the after everybody closed their case, the judge says, "Is there anything else that y'all want to do?" So they amended the charges. I guess it's not just adding; they amended the charges. And what they did was the charge of murder in the second degree was there, and so they amended a lesser charge to that charge, which was manslaughter in the first degree. And then the attempted murder in the second degree, they amended that charge also, and they added, I believe, an assault charge or something on there. So let me check. They added attempted manslaughter, pardon me. So they had a manslaughter in the first degree, and then they added attempted manslaughter, and they added 3 reckless assault charges. But she added them, so it was amended. I believe that's how you say it. Troy dropped the record. David, no limits is of course. David says recorded a video the day he testified. Troy's just crazy. Punishment says when Troy Ave going on trial, no idea. Shot by TJ said respectfully, I don't believe people would stay in the way of a person with a gun, regardless of. You're just a troll. I'm not reading no more of your comments. Lemon says gonna do 30K views just like the rest. I have no idea what you're talking about. What's gonna do 30K views? I'm not even gonna go up. It's not for me. Vision says tax should have called Dago. I think that's a joke. Deborah says thank you. Oh my God, can he get time served? No idea. Sierra Mitchell, Michael Sierra says, what are the guidelines to manslaughter? Manslaughter 1 is what he's being charged with. I'm going to see if I wrote them down. I believe the judge went over them again today, by the way. Oh, he went over them the other day. So manslaughter in the first degree caused the death with the intent to cause physical injury. So manslaughter in the first degree is when, and I'll tell you what manslaughter in the second degree is also. Manslaughter is the second degree is like some shit, like some chick has an abortion and you're giving somebody an abortion and they end up dying. That's like manslaughter in the second degree. So manslaughter in the first, like you're just doing a thing. You're not trying to hurt nobody or nothing, but you're doing something you probably shouldn't be doing, and then it causes the death. Manslaughter in the first degree is first you have to cause the person death, and second, it's because you actually just intended to cause them serious injury. So you know, like how them people be doing them kicking people in the head and all that shit. Let's say you do that shit and the person dies. That's manslaughter in the first degree. Yeah, Troy copped out. He's not going to trial. Liv says Troy Ave put you at the end of the song. Yes, he did. New York Urban Legend said if they run tax concurrent, say he get 15, he be out in say 3 years. Best case scenario, worst case, they run him bowling. Oh, sheesh. Kitten's Touch says, Frost, read my comment. I did. That's lit. Star Report. Yeah, we're gonna be on the Star Report tomorrow. Everybody that likes the fact that I read comments, can y'all drop some Frost in the chat? I want to know who likes the fact that I actually read y'all comments and reply back to them. For everybody that likes the fact that I read comments and reply back, drop some Frost in the chat, because there's a lot of people that want me to stop doing this. They constantly pull up saying, Frost, start reading the comments. What time we going live tomorrow? Most likely at the regular time we're gonna go live. We're gonna go live probably around, maybe early, it depends. And If we go live early, it's gonna be about 8:30 in the morning. But if we go live at our normal time, it's gonna be about 9:20. Yeah, we're gonna be on Star. King Digger says BBN be the realest. My dude, I'm just saying this, and I'm not trying to be a dick, but don't nobody do this like we do this. Don't nobody do this like we do this. Nobody. All of my little force out there. Tony Wall says Tax got convicted from his own words. He had his beat. Also, if he doesn't have those conversations with that Britney chick, freaking Esquire might have walked him out the door. Kitten's Touch says, I agree, because why would they ask the question unless they want an in-depth understanding? They asked the question to the judge twice, just so we could be clear. And dude went and asked a whole nother person. So that was a big thing going on. That was a point of contention. Ron Runner says, I agree with you. That's why his lawyer trying to try and throw him out was stupid. Wait, what the fuck? I agree with you. That's why his lawyer try and throw out. Okay, I just can't read that for some strange reason. Anthony Oliver says it was also confirmed TAXSTONE may have indulged. No, we're not doing that. Though, we're not doing that. If you put something like that up again, I'm just kicking you. We're not doing that. We're not gossip. We're not doing that. Faith Truth says only reason he beat the top charge is because Troy decided not to play super victim. No, no, I don't think that's okay. That's your opinion, and you have a right to have that opinion. I don't share that opinion. Anthony Oliver's about to get kicked. High Rod says Troy Ave put you in a song he just dropped on YouTube 45 minutes ago. It's on YouTube. Hold on. I'm going to go straight to the end of the thing. Al just says Av dropped the song on YouTube 45 minutes ago. We're going to listen to the song, but I want to listen to the song. I'm not going to lie, but I don't want anybody to think that I'm favoring, or I don't want to be So I am not going to play the whole song. We're just going to go to the end and see what he played, because I don't want to. Damn, I said that shit too. Trey have mad. Just so we could be clear, you heard what I said? I said, and I told y'all he was gonna get caught up. I said, I said TAXSTONE is done. He stalked somebody till somebody died. I did say that. Troy Ave. Why you man? Fucking Troy Ave. This song is so dope, so I'm not gonna be upset. This song is dope. Sheesh. I don't know how to feel about that. All I can say is this, man. Please stop. We gotta stop the hate in our community, man. That's it. That's all. Y'all know whenever somebody is stalking somebody, that shit touched me personally. You feel me? We really gotta stop with all the hate in our community. We really gotta stop. Wait, what? Hold on. You gave me now, right? You gave me now. Sheesh. You gave me now, right? You gave me now. You gave me now. I hit the button by accident. You gave me now, right? I give some good sound bites. I'll say that much. Yeah, if you're gonna, yeah, I give some good sound bites. Sure, yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, I'm gonna hit him up. Let me see if he's gonna give me an interview. We gonna see if he gonna give us an interview. He gonna give us an interview. I think so. I think he'll give us an interview. I don't think that's gonna be an issue. I don't think that's gonna be an issue. I will say this. Uh, I don't know if Banger's family feels like wish list. I don't know. I gotta think about it. Uh, I'll I'll uh I'll holla at you about it. We like to be able to control our lighting a little. You know, we got to get some lighting in here so we could control the lighting a little, right? That's everybody bit off of us. We was the first YouTube channel with the change in the lights. We were the first YouTube channel changing the lights. Everybody bit off of us, at least in this sector. You know, everybody bit off of us. We did a lot of things first, man. Yeah, so that's probably something that would be a good thing to look into. Yeah, the song is kind of. At least he put me on the hard track and shit, and he played our BBN music at the end. But he probably put us at the end, so he'd be like, "I'll cut that nigga out if he asks for any money." I'm like, "Yo, Troy, what up, man? What the fuck, fam?" He gonna be like, "Not a problem, I'll fix it." And then next thing you know, and I'm not at the end of the damn track no more. You're like, "I'm not paying that nigga bong." But I told y'all, but could I just say something real quick? That would be me telling the truth, though. That was me telling the truth. Uh, However people want to accept it or feel about it. That was me putting people on to what was actually going to happen, right? right? I could rap. I don't want to be a rapper though, so he don't got to worry about that. But I could rap. We ain't playing with it. And also, I can't get on the track like that. I can't get on the track like that. Yeah, I can't get on the track like that. And not because of TAXSTONE, but I can't get on the track like that because a man lost his life. I can't get on the track like that. Yeah, the mic was never on the whole time. I figured that out. Now y'all hear me, right? Yeah, the mic was never on the whole time. I figured that out. Yeah, y'all hear me. Now y'all hear me, right? Yeah. Also, it comes with tools. So when I do interview somebody on my phone, now I have there's actually two of these. So boom. Yeah, I don't know anything about any of these guys' relationship, and I don't claim to. Just so we can be clear. Yeah, we sound better, right? Yeah, come on, let's go. Shout out to Mr. 4440. He said, "Yo, Jack, I think you need a mic." I said, "You think I need a mic? What you gonna do about it?" He said, "I got you." Anything else y'all want to talk about in anything y'all want to talk about? Yeah, now also I get to talk like regular. Like y'all don't really ever really hear my regular voice, to be honest with you. And shout out to Taxstone's mom for giving me a second after the verdict was read. She gave me a second. Uh, I asked her, and she didn't really want to speak, and she gave me a second. So shout out to Taxstone's moms. She gave me a second after the trial. She said that she think that there should have been a mistrial because of the juror that spoke outside of court about everything. Damn, y'all can hear me brushing. So shout out to Taxstone's moms giving me a minute at the end of that trial after everything that she was going through, and we are going to at some point be speaking to Trife. Hopefully, I believe so. For everybody that don't know, Trife is um, very articulate. I don't know if y'all know this about that guy, but he's very articulate. He's intelligent. He's very articulate. Trife gangster. Just so we can be clear. Okay, so apparently it doesn't matter how many times I kick you. You're just gonna keep coming back with different accounts. So I'm gonna stop wasting my time. He might be going by Shan Duke now. I don't know, but I mean, I when I say Trife, you know who I'm talking about, right? Shan Duke is his government name. He's Muslim. Yes, he's very well spoken. Well, I'm calling him Trife because that's how it's so everybody can know who I'm talking about. But his name is Shan Duke McFadden. Yes, very articulate, very well spoken, um, very well spoken. Sometimes, you know how sometimes you speak to people who they aren't really well spoken. They just think that they are, so they talk, but they don't know what the fuck they talking about. That is not him. Just so we can be clear. Yeah, hopefully he does find peace. But that's not him at all. Like he knows, he's articulate. He knows what he's talking about. His words mean something when he speaks. He's not just talking to be talking. And he's pretty funny too. Not for nothing. He's pretty funny. He said a couple of jokes that I actually laughed at. I don't laugh at everybody's jokes. I gotta go through my other paperwork to find out what he's actually looking at. I I what I have planned for y'all involving this case, I'm pretty sure y'all guys are gonna love it. It's gonna all be after the 27th. There's a reason for that. It's gonna all be after the 27th. I have to get this stuff together. I have to get I'm writing scripts and everything. I gotta get everything together. It's gonna be after the 27th. But for what I do have planned, I need a mic for my computer, not for nothing. That's basic. I need a mic for that. I need a mic for my computer. That's what I need a mic for. I need a mic for the computer now. But the things that I have planned is going to be it's going to be involved in this case. Um it's going to be content that I'm going to be creating to be it's going to have replay value is the best way I could put it. No, he's literally funny. What are you talking about? I don't know why Jackson Jones is trying to take away from. He's literally funny. Maybe you didn't didn't understand his jokes and you laughed because of pressure. But I promise you, I do not laugh at anybody's jokes unless I actually think that they're funny. Nah, I'm not sending you my address, Drew. But no, he said something. He said a couple of things. I don't know how many jokes he actually told, but I laughed at a couple of them. I mean, I was telling jokes too, motherfucker. Hell is you talking about? Um, Mistrial. Yes. So I'll speak about how some people think that there should have been a mistrial real quick. So there was a juror number 11. He actually spoke to somebody outside of the court about about a question he should have asked the judge actually, right? So it was a question that he should have asked the judge, and instead of asking the judge, he asked a friend of his that is an ex-lawyer. He's not a lawyer anymore, he's retired. So he comes into court and he references that conversation to someone and to juror number 12, and juror number 6 overhears it. So they bring it to the attention of the judge, and when they bring it to the attention of the judge, they go through a whole proceeding to see what people actually heard and the extent of it. So when they go and do all of that, it's deemed that what actually happened wasn't egregious enough for them to have a whole new trial. You understand? I think that's the part people is not getting. Like it wasn't egregious enough for an entire new trial, because one, he didn't even tell the other jurors what the guy said. All he said was is that the guy said the same thing the judge said. He didn't break down. Allegedly, he didn't break down what anything further than that. So he had this conversation with a person who basically said the exact same thing that the judge said. So he didn't even The individual didn't even give him information that was contrary to the judge or different than what the judge actually said. He actually told him the same definition that the judge gave for intent. So the judge didn't see any reason to have a mistrial. Just so we could be clear. Okay, one, I don't know why you're calling this tea. This is not rumors, but okay. Shout out to that shit. Murder scene said no harm was done, no sense of starting a new trial over a question. The juror, yeah. So there was no real reason. What uh Bayonne could have did, because Esquire was not in court today. But what Bayonne could have did if he would have did it immediately was ask for the removal, pardon me, of the juror. I'm not sure what would have happened, but he could have asked for the removal of the juror. He did not ask for the removal of the juror. So, yeah. He could have asked. He didn't, though. Yeah, that was not something he did. Yeah, this isn't celebrity gossip. There's nothing gossipy about what I'm talking about. What are you talking about? Yeah, just kick that person, right? Ken Thomas says Esquire used to be in the streets. A lot of people don't know that. Well, I seen his demeanor. I wouldn't be surprised if he was in the streets. David Jasmine says, why you never speak about the Vlad clip where TAXSTONE said if you approach him and talk as Boom is paraphrasing. Well, one, I actually did speak on that because the prosecution brought that up. So we spoke on that already. What are you talking about? Are you just coming in here just saying things? It sounds like you're just saying things. So, okay, you're just saying things. Not a problem. Be More Legend said I was wrong. You was wrong about what? You can't be more wrong about that guy that spoke before you that's just saying things. I didn't say that today. I said that when the prosecution brought it up. I said it that day. But it's okay. You just assumed I didn't do it rather than, assuming the positive thing, you assume the negative thing. I am not sure about how much time he's possibly facing. People in the chat is talking about it. Talk about it with them. Exactly, Jigga. This isn't tea. Well, articulate wasn't the only way I explained him. I said that he's also articulate, while I said that he knows what he's talking about also. So, no, I get it. You just want to argue. Satan sent you. I get it. I am going to be at the sentencing, yes. Satan sent you. I get it. Yeah, that's how we do. Yeah, we got to him though. We kicked that fool. They think I'm gonna go back and forth with them. I'm not going back and forth with nobody over nothing. The hell? Why would I do that? That don't make sense. Yeah, I do know everybody doesn't always get the max, right? I'm just saying. You know that, right? Like every single time somebody gets convicted of a thing, they don't necessarily always get the max. Yeah, I do know that, right? No, that's okay, Tiffany. We're not kicking people because we don't like them. We kick people because certain rules are broken and therefore they're not allowed to be in here. We would prefer if those rules weren't broken and we get to keep everybody. Like David Jasmine, he makes that absolutely no sense, but we're not going to kick him yet. We're going to let him talk. We don't kick people for saying stupid things anymore. Jigga said the judge actually has respect for tax and likes his style. He just got caught in a bad situation and had a bright future. Well, the judge father, Judge Clot, he is very fair, just in general, and impartial and very unbiased towards anything. And as usual, he's just trying to make sure that the court and all the court officers, the officers of the court, the lawyers, are doing their job appropriately. That's all. Just so we could be clear. Reaper says, I think all parties got fair verdicts. Roadrunner says, yeah, tax talk hella reckless in those interviews. That's why a lot of this stuff. Um, is there anything y'all would like for me to, anything y'all want to discuss about this specifically? Let me know. And I'll go pull it up for you. Anything y'all want me to discuss about this specifically, and I'm going to go pull it up for you. Incredible. Yeah, so anything y'all want to talk about specifically, let me know, and then I'll go and I'll pull it up for you right now. What do y'all want to talk about specifically? Shout out to Tracy. Definitely love you, baby girl. Dropping those frosts with the $5 drop. You the best over here. Doing all of the things. Shout out to Flacco with the $25 drop. Definitely appreciate you. All of the things. You guys are incredible. I appreciate all the support. If y'all gonna come and support, this makes it so much easier for me to do my job over here. It really makes it so much easier. I definitely appreciate you guys. Ken, so you about to boom the Cash App, Kim? Kim? Okay. I definitely appreciate you guys. Shout out to Judah. Oh, that was you, Judah? Shout out to Judah. Which one was you, Judah? So I can make sure I remember for next time. Which one was you, Judah? Flacco? There is no other Jack Frost. There's no one that does this like this. No one. This is not me. Uh, that was you. Shout out to all right, you Flacco. Shout out to Ken Thompson. Flacco, copy. So I'm assuming this is Judah. Shout out to Judah with the $5 drop. Definitely appreciate you. You the man. Appreciate all of y'all. Don't let nobody lie to you. DeAndre says, still catching up from the beginning. You should kick everyone who isn't smart enough to listen. If they are context deaf, please just we just doing our job. We working over here. I'm being extremely patient because sometimes people are just misled by other comments in the chat. So I'm being patient. She was upset. I mean, wouldn't you be upset if you want your son to come home and he isn't? She was upset. She was composed though. She was composed as I could. She was as composed as any mother could be in that situation. And I just want to say this, since we're talking about Tax's moms, she has been. She held herself to a very high standard. This is she's dealing with something different than what the other mothers are dealing with. Banger's mother is dealing with losing her son and never being able to speak with him again. That's a different pain. I'm not going to speak on Banger's moms. Very polite to me. Very polite. Very nice woman. But she lost her son. And she's never going to be able to speak to again. So I don't want to speak on her with all fairness. All right. As far as TAXSTONE's moms is concerned, very elegant, very you could tell she's a strong woman, very strong constitution. She was extremely composed. There was a couple of times which I wanted to speak with them, but I didn't really speak with any of the moms on purpose. Because I have this thing about me where I will feel your feelings. And so I'm at a place doing my job and I don't have that liberty to have been experiencing their feelings at that time. So I didn't speak with them for that purpose and for that purpose alone. I'm thinking about it right now and it's kind of upsetting me. So I'm saying that to say, I have nothing but respect for all of the mothers that showed up and supported. And I absolutely have. She was undoubtedly. You could tell she's a pillar of her family. She's absolutely looks like somebody that other people in the family lean on. And she has an absolutely lit wardrobe. I just want to throw that out there. Her wardrobe is lit. Yeah, so I was not speaking to them because I don't know if I would have been able to keep myself together. Hassan was outside of what court crying? What court was he outside crying in front of? Are you lying? First of all, your name is Kevin Conway. I'm not dealing with you. Somebody else is gonna have to tell me that happened. Yeah, they had made sure a lot of cops was in there. They wasn't messing around. And I'm not gonna lie, like they know, like I'm trying not to think about the way that these guys was feeling when they was in there, but um the police in there was very respectful and they did their job the right way. Judas Flacco, shout out to Flacco, and they did their job the right way. Just so I could say, the police did their job the right way, absolutely 100% the right way. All right, absolutely the right way. Shout out to I'm gonna say Wilkerson. He says, "Be safe though," with the $10 drop. Definitely appreciate you. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know why. Why didn't he come in the building and come upstairs? Like, what the hell? I don't know what you're talking about. Look, if you got look, I try to do what you guys like. So what's the next trial y'all want me while I'm preparing all of the work that we have to be prepared that's going to be put out and revolving around this? Y'all could also point me towards the next trial we're going to be doing. That's the best way I could be putting it. We're going to be doing more trials, obviously. There's nobody that does this like us. There isn't anybody that does this like us. We're the only YouTubers that do this way and get it like this. All right? We getting it straight out of the mud. There is no other YouTuber that can get it out the mud like we can involving this court shit. Don't be surprised if I start flying all around America covering cases. Don't be surprised. Okay, so I'm assuming this is Ken. Shout out to Ken once again with the next $5 drop. So yeah, shout out to Ken with the $5 drop. Definitely appreciate you. So don't be surprised if soon I'm gonna be flying around America covering trials. Don't be surprised. I'm not saying that that's a thing that's happening. I'm just saying don't be surprised. All right, don't be surprised. Don't be surprised. Nobody does this. And shout out to the police. They asked me when I was leaving, "Yo, what trial you covering next?" Um, I don't think this can be appealed, and I also don't know if they want to appeal it. I think that if you give and this is the most realest shit, I'm telling you, listen, pay attention. I think that if you give this district attorney another shot, I didn't say no one else was covering the case. I said no one covers the cases like me. There's a difference. So I know you're trying to come in here and start an argument. If you say another thing trying to get any kind of problem between me and another YouTube channel, I'm just kicking you. And then I'm not even addressing it. Just so we can be clear. Because I'm not doing that. Also, don't say other YouTube channels in here, because then people are gonna want to argue with me. I don't want to argue. Wordplay. Do you think Troy think he was really about to live peacefully in prison? Troy? After he snitched and found guilty with a double. I don't know why do you think Troy's in jail being peacefully? There you go. Yeah, just kick him. He just want to argue. Just kick him. That's why they mad at me, because I won't go back and forth with them. I just kick them. Hit me at this IG. There's no space. I'm just putting the space because the way Instagram is right now, and because the way YouTube is now. So that's the only reason why I'm putting the space. That's my IG. Hit me right now so I can respond back to you right now. You can know it's me. Yeah, positive energy, man. No, I don't need none of that. I don't need that. I don't need that. I appreciate you though. I don't smoke no more. I quit. I just quit. I don't smoke. Um shout out to Ken Thompson. Thompson. He said, you know what? He goes another $5. At this rate, you're about to buy everybody drinks. For everybody that don't know, oh shit. I need for everybody to put bottles in the chat because earlier when Star dropped that $50 drop, he bought everybody drinks. So who's drinking with us? Earlier, a $50 drop is you buying a round of drinks for everybody. We popping bottles. Earlier today, Star pop bottles. Popping bottles. Earlier today, Star Pop bottles. So everybody got a round of drinks. Everybody, whoever drinking with us, put some bottles in the chat. Especially with all the recent indictments handed down, you're gonna be busy for us. We're gonna see what happens. Now you good, Art? You've been doing incredible work today as an admin, so I have no complaints. Popping bottles. So whenever you want to buy everybody a drink in the chat, all you got to do is drop $50. You buy everybody a drink in the chat. We all pop bottles and celebrate your name. I'm not talking about Tax's mom's body shape. We're not doing that. She dressed very nice. She has very nice clothes. You can tell she got a nice style about her. That's it. All right. That's it. What the hell, fam? One, I'm scared to death of that lady. I'm not going there. That's one. Shout out to Rod. Salute. I ain't saying nothing that even look halfway crazy. Sound halfway crazy about her. Shout out to shout out to OGPOV with the $15 drop. Definitely appreciate you, my brother. Let's go. All of the things. Shout out to Bridging the Gap with the $5 drop. Definitely appreciate you. We got much more going over here. We're gonna have a lot more. The content that we're gonna be, the conversations that we're gonna have around this after I get into my paperwork and I'm able to write stuff out and I'm able to actually frame some work and then bring y'all in after we drop some videos and have some discussions. Y'all gonna love it. I have a lot of content that we're gonna be making based on this trial until we get to our next trial. Just so we can be clear, until we get to our next trial. What up, Daisy May? If y'all want me to reopen the saloon, we might reopen the saloon one day. But the saloon makes the show go super slow, so I don't know. So Jigga and so hold on, Jigga, you and Ken about to have a battle? Jay Savage says I seen manslaughter charges get probation. But Jay Savage is also a 2.0. So those 2.0s, they be crafty. We don't know about if you don't know about. Also, we started people making 2.0 accounts, and I've been seeing 2.0 accounts all over fucking social media. We started that. Do you understand how much shit we started that's all over social media? Niggas do it and don't even know that it came from the BBN network. Jigga said he'll happily go dollar for dollar with you, kid. Just so we could be clear, Ken already dropped $15. Just so we could be clear. Jigga says somebody just sent me 15 cents. Hold on, I want to look at this real quick. You know, you sent me 15 cents, right? Deborah, shout out to Deborah. She sent me 15 cents. I gotta show y'all this shit. I'm accepting it, and I thank you. Thank you very much. I am not ungrateful. Shout out to Deborah with the 15 cent. I am not ungrateful. I appreciate you. Shout out to Tracy with the $5. She said, recap, please. She said, recap, please. No, oh yeah, Judah's doing the thing from earlier. All right, so I'm gonna give a recap, and then if there's any more. Oh wait, first of all, just so we could be clear, John said you want to go dollar for dollar with him. He just dropped 5 more. No, Ken just dropped $5 right now. He said, first of all, Ken said I already dropped $15, and now I'm dropping 5 more dollars. Boom. He said I just boomed that joint. So he done dropped $15 already, and now he's dropping 5 more. I'm just saying that's what he did. I'm just telling you what he did. That's it. That's all I'm telling you. What he did. All right, so let me give a recap real quick. I guess Jigga didn't get up to the part where Ken. Oh, Jigga said, nah, I said 100. But he already dropped 20. Like, you ain't even meet his 20 yet. I'm just saying, but I got to do a recap real quick for our young lady over here. So, Deborah corrected the situation. Shout out to Deborah with the dub drop. I'm trying to cover her name up. Shout out to Deborah with the dub drop. She said check PayPal. Shout out to Deborah with the. Oh, that is the real Deborah. Shout out to. Oh, she put her real name because somebody saw her name the other day. Shout out to Deborah with the dub drop, $20 drop. All right, so let me do a real quick recap. So first, earlier this morning, there was an issue. One of the jurors, juror 11, was overheard by juror 6 telling juror 12 that he spoke to his friend, who is a retired lawyer. And when he spoke to his friend, who is a retired lawyer, he asked his friend something that he was not supposed to ask him. He asked him, what does intent mean under the law? So the friend gave him the definition. So he told juror 12 that he had asked his friend this thing. Now we're going to rewind it a little bit. They was just coming from the reason why he told him this is because they was just coming out of the courtroom. Yesterday, before the day ended, they sent the judge a letter, and in the letter, they basically asked, what does intent mean? They wanted to ask it again. The judge had explained it previously, but they wanted a more in-depth explanation, I guess. He gave a good explanation, by the way. The judge did not give a bad explanation. He gave an A1 explanation the first time. For whatever the reason is, they needed a better clarification. So it happened late in the day that the note was received by the judge. So the judge says, I'll just address it in the morning, which is reasonable, by the way. The judge father, Clot, the Honorable Judge Clot, he's the judge father. So apparently what happened was um they received the note late in the day. So the judge says, Judge Clot says, you know what, we'll just address it tomorrow, which is, reasonable. It was already late in the day. So fast forward to this morning. So this morning, one of the first things the judge does is he addresses this specific issue, and he gives an even more detailed explanation to the jury. So now, like I told you, they're walking back to the jury room. Juror 11 tells juror 12 that he was speaking with his friend last night, and his friend is a retired lawyer, and he said basically that his retired lawyer friend said the same thing last night that Judge Clot just said on the stand. So juror 6 heard this. Juror 6 thought this was a big deal, and it is a big deal, by the way. You're not supposed to be talking about the trial with anyone, uh, no one outside of the jurors that are deliberating with you. So she wanted to send a note to the judge. They send a note to the judge. The judge then uh, ascertains how much he said, asks everybody questions, brought everybody in. Boom. It's basically he didn't tell anyone what his friend actually said. He only said that his friend said the same thing that the judge said. So he in no way, at least this is what the court deemed, he in no way basically brought a foreign element into the jury room by asking outside forces, outside entities, anything. So it was deemed that he didn't do anything that was warranted to have a mistrial. So uh, they talk about it, just so we're gonna be clear, and it's done with. It's over. We keeping the same juror. Then the verdict comes in a little bit later in the day, and basically the verdict was count one, which was, let me make sure that I get all of this lined up for you so it'll be a lot easier. Count one, which was murder in the second degree, not guilty. Count 1A, which was manslaughter in the first degree, guilty. Count 2, which was attempted murder in the second degree, not guilty. Count 3, which was assault, I believe, in the second degree. Let me go check. And that's on and regarding Troy Ave, just so we could be clear. Count 3 was the assault, and I believe in the second degree regarding Troy Ave, guilty. Count 4, that was the assault in the second degree, I believe, against Maggie Hextall. That was guilty. Count 5, which was the assault in the second degree against Vincent, Chris Vincent, that was not guilty. But he was guilty for the lesser charge on Chris Vincent. And count, did I say that the right way? Count 5 was the Chris Vincent. Count 4 was Maggie Hextall. Maggie Hextall, count 4, found guilty. Was that reckless? Hold on. Count 3, guilty. That's the Troy Ave count. Count 4, Maggie Hextall, guilty. Count 5, not guilty, but count 5A, guilty. That was Chris Vincent. Count 6 and 7 had to deal with the gun charges, guilty on both of those accounts. April 19th, 2:15 is when the sentencing is going to be. That's a real quick recap. Not a problem at all. Not a problem at all. I appreciate you. Well, we actually have a mic this time, so we didn't have a mic previously. So we actually have a mic this time. I don't think I said 2023 or 2015 because I don't think I called the year at all. So I don't know what you're talking about. I said 2:15, like 2 o'clock in 15 minutes. What are you talking about? April 19th at 2:15 in the courtroom. What is that guy talking about? You see what I mean by people that hate you? They just people that got like this. Just I'm not gonna say he hate me. I don't know that guy, but sometimes people are just looking so hard for you to be doing something wrong, and now he laughing like because you was wrong, right? You all of the other. How long you been in here? You ain't never commented until you could have found something that you thought you could criticize. Shout out to you though. You on that type of time. I'm not. Shout out to you though. I hope that's working out for you. How the fuck, man? He flew in the house with me. I promise you. Promise you. Uh huh. On God. Mm. All right. So if we're only going to be getting stupid questions at this point, if we're only going to be getting stupid comments at this point, I done gave you all of the replay for the day that we're going to be doing. You come in here tomorrow morning. I'm going to be able to get my notes together a little bit better, and we're going to be able to have we're going to be able to have a more diverse conversation, a better conversation, a different conversation. But if the all we got right now is the people that's in here trying to troll me, you already know what I'm gonna do. You already know what I'm gonna do if I'm only speaking to the people that's trying to troll me. You already know what I'm gonna do. Just so we can be clear. I'm like, I ain't got time for this. Shout out to Texas. Salute. That's a fact. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. As always, I'm never trying to no negative towards anybody about anything. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't want to engage. Shout out to New Lane Entertainment, by the way. Yes, we are pulling up to Star tomorrow. We're pulling up to the Star Report at 11 tomorrow. These is facts. We're pulling up to the Star Report at about 11. He comes on at 11, so I guess we're going to be pulling up a little bit later. Matter of fact, we might start late, the show late tomorrow, just so I don't get tired by the time the Star Report comes on and I'm exhausted. So I'm not sure what time we're going to start tomorrow, but we might start. I don't know. We might start early. Yeah, salute the Star. That's a fact. Salute to the homie. Boss Hog out there doing all of the things. AM, I believe. AM in the morning. AM. Oh, tomorrow's Friday. That means that they're gonna make my food. We gotta have to pull up on this show early because my lunch they make pasta on Fridays at the spot. At the spot I eat at, they make pasta on Fridays. They make pasta on Fridays. Yeah, I'm gonna be there. All of the things. I was talking to some chick and I was like, all of the things. She was like, yo, yo, y'all don't understand, man. Y'all don't understand, man. Y'all don't understand. Y'all don't understand. Um, I don't want to talk about me. What else y'all want to talk about concerning the case? The most interesting part of the trial, Troy Ave's testimony. Hands down, uh, his testimony, the prosecution's direct was incredible, and the cross from Esquire was legendary. That's the best way I could put it. You had to be there. It was legendary. You just had to be there. So please don't say anybody's pages in this chat. Don't say nobody's pages on my page. Unless you hear me saying their names, don't say nobody pages in here. These dudes just want to try to figure out a way to argue with me. Yeah. All the way out the door. Boom. Yeah, these dudes just trying to say they people so they people could try to figure out a way to argue with me. Believe me, if you ever argue with me on your page and I see somebody say your name, I'm dubbing them immediately. I don't know how that works. I mean, everything is for public consumption. So I mean, you could always go and check it out. But I found out something really interesting about one of the lawyers involved, but I think I'm gonna wait for the person who gave me the information to actually come speak with me so we can do the content together. Ross says, if anyone could give a clear answer on these trials better than anyone, it has to be. I get what you're saying. I think that I think I do a good job at it. I'm gonna keep trying to get better. Let's not be confused about that. I don't think I'm the best that I could be. I'm gonna continue to try to get better. I think that I do a pretty good job. Uh, and we're gonna keep trying to improve. We're gonna keep trying to get better. That's it. Yeah, you know, I'm this good today, and hopefully tomorrow I could improve a little. It probably won't be noticeable, but if I keep improving a little tiny bit every day, it'll be noticeable after about a month, after about 2 months, it'll be noticeable, right? So we're just gonna keep trying to improve and get better and bring you guys. You guys are here watching the content. You guys are supporting the channel. So I need to get better at whatever I'm doing. Troy Ave was charged with Troy Ave was charged with attempted murder. That's a max of 25 years. And he was charged with 3 gun possession charges, 2 gun possession charges, straight possession, and 1 possession with the intent to harm. Those, all of those max out at 15 years. So if he got the max on everything, it'd be 70 years. Yeah, I took notes. What are you talking about? This is just one of the books. I take notes, man. Come on. This is my shit looks like this, man. I don't know what anybody else is doing when they go into the courtroom. With all due respect, I don't know what anybody else is doing when they go in the courtroom. My work looks like this. My work looks like this. I don't know what anybody else is doing when they go in the courtroom. No disrespect to them. I'm not throwing shots at nobody. But my work looks like this. This is how my work looks. All right? This is how my work looks. I don't know what anybody else is doing. I'm not watching what anybody else is doing. I'm not concerned with what anybody else is doing. I don't care what anybody else is doing. It don't got nothing to do with me. Only thing that got something to do with me is what I'm doing. Copy? So this is how my work looks. I don't know what anybody else is doing. That's just me pulling up random pages. I don't know what anybody else is doing. You want to look at a different book? I don't know what anybody else is doing. I don't know what anybody else is doing. This is my work. This is my work. I don't know what anybody else is doing. I don't know what anybody else is doing. I promise you. This is my work. Want to look at the last book? Look, I don't know what anybody else is doing. This is my work. This is how my work looks. So yeah, we take notes. Yeah, these are 3 different books, by the way. We take notes. I'm halfway decent at it. I'm halfway decent. There's room for improvement. There's lots of room for improvement, I think. So, I'm gonna work on that. No, none of those charges are dropped. He already pled guilty to all of those things. All those charges I just mentioned regarding Troy Ave, he's already pled guilty to everything. In any regard, we're gonna be back in the morning. I hope to see y'all guys back here in the morning. I'm gonna let y'all go. I got a busy weekend because this weekend I gotta narrow a lot of this stuff down. I gotta go do a lot of stuff regarding this paperwork. I gotta put a lot of this stuff together, and I gotta get it prepared for the other content that it's gonna turn into. So I want to say there was a lot of people that pulled up to support TAXSTONE. Don't get it confused. Shout out to New Lane Entertainment. They showed up to support TAXSTONE. They coming all the way from a whole nother state. They coming from Philly, I believe. Shout out to New Lane Entertainment. There was a lot of people in there. Big Body Best was in there. There was a lot of people in there. I'm sorry I can't remember everybody's names right now. Tahoe TV was in there. There was a lot of people in there. There was a lot of individuals that were showing up. Manolo was in there. There's a lot of people that were showing up to support TAXSTONE. And no matter what happened, you got to show up to support your homeboy, right? You got to do that. So there was people up in there supporting TAXSTONE. Initially, I thought it was wild because I'm not going to lie to you, there wasn't. And you heard me mention it. And no, people started coming to support, and specifically when Troy Ave was testifying. So it was like, we got to see what this mofo Ave is doing. So specifically when Troy Ave was testifying, just so we could be clear, specifically, definitely appreciate y'all. I appreciate everybody that pulled up today. I'm gonna let y'all go. We're gonna get up out of here. Tomorrow, we should be. I was thinking we're gonna be on time tomorrow, but we might be a little late. But that's only because we're gonna pull up on stars. We're gonna pull up on the star report tomorrow. So we might be a little bit late tomorrow. I'm not 100% sure, but if we're late, we're not gonna be that late. Probably 9:30. That's on time, damn near. Probably 10 o'clock if we're late. 10 o'clock. But generally speaking, we go live 9 a.m. in the morning when we're not out in the field. So expect us to be live by 10 o'clock tomorrow. And I'm going to go over a little bit more detail, especially about what happened today, because I actually have the detail down. I just didn't really get it to y'all. With that being said, look, I love y'all. If you got anybody still awake in your household, please give them a hug. Tell them you love them. You don't never know what's going to happen tomorrow. Give people their flowers while they're still here. Also, before and after you wake up, glass of water. Believe me, it's going to help you with your health, nutrients. And whenever you're helping somebody else be the best them that they can be in that moment, you being the best you that you can be. So go out there and be great. God first. Like, comment, subscribe. Join the notification game. Hashtag Bronx Bombers. Let's get it. I love y'all. Take care of each other. Help take care of each other. Hug the kids for me. I haven't forgotten about you. And that's all I got on this one. I'm out.